As we came back, I managed to stand on my own, so he dropped me from his shoulder as I convinced him that I could manage. Wouldn't want to weigh on him unnecessarily. The wolf seemed a little worried, but I tried to reassure them as best as possible. Although, honestly, I'm not feeling that well. In any case, we continue walking. As we did, he asked what had happened, and I told him about my story with Pat. What he did to me and the voice. After all, if someone could know what it is, that would be him. Luckily, the rain took us out of that conversation as the downpour drenched us entirely. We ran as fast as we could, but our clothes were utterly wet when we made it to the inn. Yeah, thank God. Thank God. Hiya. Thank God that they were wearing pants. Goddesses, that indeed came out of nowhere. Akala said while taking off his shoes and drying himself as best as possible with the towel the innkeeper lent us. I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the sensor. I'm just going to go ahead and pull that up. It is very fancy. It is very fancy. Akala says while taking off his shoes and... I do the same, trying not to mess up the room. Indeed, it took the whole town by surprise. Akalis and I had already taken most of our clothes off, only remaining in our underwear. And I'm ashamed to say it, but I've been curiously eyeing him for a while. I was not expecting him to have such a well-toned body under the many layers of clothing he usually wears. I mean... Okay. Thank God. I mean, he's nowhere near Almond or Akalis when it comes to muscles. His arms and legs... You mean Roderick? He's nowhere near Almond or Roderick when it comes to the muscles. His arms and legs are slimmer. But his chest looks strong, and his belly has not a single trace of fat on it. His backside is also quite broad, and his bottom looks well formed. Wait, was he looking away earlier? He was. So, I've been thinking. The wolf turns around and catches me red-handed, but decides not to comment on it and only offers me an odd look. That, we should go to the library after lunch, if that suits you fine. Yeah, sure. Sounds good to me. Yeah, that's allowed. That word is allowed. Thank you, Automod. Fucking Automod. Yeah, sure, sounds good to me. Silence fills the room as it turns out that not every guy enjoys his ass being stared at. Crazy, right? I sigh as I notice that I managed to make him feel uncomfortable again. Something I am very good at, apparently. So, as usual, I'm the one in charge of picking the conversation back up. Automod is streamer pay. Hang on. Let's give Automod a face real quick. I'm gonna give Automod a face. Can I find something in the TikTok shit folder that would give Automod a face? Okay, we have our face for Automod now. Hatsune Miku is now Automod. Congratulations. Hiya. Hiya! So you're probably wondering how we got here, where we have two canines in their underwear, one of them looking uncomfortable and the other looking confused, and Hatsune Miku. I'm almost done. Okay. Okay, okay. We have our auto mod. We have the face of auto mod now. Horse, come pick you up. I'm scared. I'm done. I'm dead. I'm dead. Okay, here we go. We have our auto mod. Fucking fuck off, image 10. Ah. Oh, we gotta like. We simply have to fight the stream. I simply have to fight the software. Hang on, I have to edit the text. I simply have to edit the text. Hang on, I'm almost done. Here we go. I just edited the text, and it looks 10 times worse. Now, if I can actually move it. Automod is always watching. Fucking Automod. Okay, I can't actually group them together, so we're just going to leave it at that. But there we go. There's our new face. There's our Automod. Something I'm very good at, apparently. So, as usual, I'm the one in charge of picking the conversation back up. I didn't know you had a tattoo? That's cool. Is it kind of like my marks? Oh, this? Icalis touches his left pec, where a strange-looking triangle has been engraved on his skin. You are right, in a way. This tattoo is similar to your marks. After all, there are traces of magic in it as well. Really? Magic in a tattoo? That's new. I got him right where I want him, as I know that Icalis can't help but run his mouth when it comes to these sorts of topics. Making him forget all of our previous interactions and giving me a new chance to not mess things up. I've gotten good at dealing with the wolf's unique social antics. It's simple. Do you remember the magical ink on the map? The one that lights up? Sure, I remember something along those lines. Well, this ink is also imbued with magic. Huh? That's one way of using magical ink, I guess, but why? It's a channel, like a magical artifact within me. Past scholars have discovered that magic is more easily malleable if directed to specific geometrical figures. At first, these symbols will be engraved on the armor of soldiers. But soon enough, my ancestor Arcanus would point out just how inefficient the method really was. And that's why he created these magic tattoos. This is the Eye of Arcanus, and it's the most common figure used to channel magic. And how does it work? Icalis seems to like my question because his face lights up as I say it. Well, as you already know, the magic users gather the mana from different places. Mana? The body, the soul, and the environment. Correct. So when people gathers the crim, it goes through the body and then we channel it. This figure in my chest works as a gathering area, drawing the crim toward it and increasing the efficiency of the magic. So for me, the natural crim goes in here instead of gathering all over my body and getting lost in the process. Oh wow, even if I don't understand it entirely, his explanation is quite interesting and informative. Besides, who cares? He seems happy to explain this to me, so I say nothing. Arcanus called it the core, and tattooing yourself is known as engraving. It's mostly done by scholars and knights who want to improve their magical skills. So, each scholar in the Canine Kingdom engraves the Eye of Arcanus onto their body? Yes, quite. It's a necessity. If you want to engage in more focused magic, you need a core. This one is the most well-known one, but there are many others. So, I just need a bunch of tattoos all over my body to be a better wizard? Sign me up! I'm all down for some rad tattoos. Icalis chuckles and looks at me with some sweetness in his eyes. No, not at all. The magic won't know where to go if you have more than one core, making it almost impossible to channel. Then that means yours aren't like mine. I mean, I think you could just pull like an Avatar: The Last Airbender and be like get airbending magic tattoos, so that way it's like all forced into specific. That way it's all forced to like the arrows like all over your body. So you could like be. So you could be Aang. You could be Aang, the Last Airbender. Yours aren't like mine. Your markings are a different kind that I've never seen. They have magical energy engraved in them, but they are not a core. So I'm drawing a blank here. I'm sorry. I see. Well, it's not like I didn't know that, but for a moment there, I had my hopes up. I'll figure it out. You can trust in my word. I know, if someone can do it, it's you. I offer him a sincere smile, and he returns it, his cheeks fully flustered, but that's usual Akalis behavior, so I don't mind it. Ahem. Anyway, we have more pressing matters, such as our current situation. What about it? We must clean ourselves, of course. If not, I will never be able to shut my eyes tonight. Oh, that's what you mean. Well, there's a bath in the building, no? You can go first, unless you're willing to share the public bath with me. I offer him a sly smile, teasingly placing my hands on my hips and keeping eye contact with him for a few seconds. He eventually breaks it and looks away, his cheeks as red as tomatoes. His cheeks grow redder than ever before, and I chuckle at his adorable reaction. He is too easy. Relax, I'm just messing with you. I know you don't like that idea. So, you go first, and I'll wait for my turn. Okay. He seems sad, deflected, but as I'm about to ask him, I appreciate it now. Now, if you'll excuse me. The wolf walks past me and closes the door, leaving me alone, wondering about what just happened. Hi, and welcome to literally every single Furry Visual Novel. Hi, and welcome to Furry Visual Novels, the group of games that teaches us that all the love interests are in love with the protagonist within the first 5 minutes. Akalis took his sweet time bathing himself, so I decided to wait in the room, looking through the window to the street outside. I can see a few passerby running around the street, trying not to get wet. But there's a certain other person that piques my interest, a hooded figure, standing there in the middle of the road, just looking into the distance. It has the curvy shape of a woman, but I can't be too sure since it's too dark outside. She also doesn't seem to mind the rain, as she's not moving an inch from that spot. Is she looking at me? Nah, can't be. I'm just being paranoid, right? A feeling of discomfort assaults me as I look back at her. Assaults me. She's standing completely still, almost like a statue. I can't help but wonder if she's looking in my direction by any chance, or it's just my imagination. Let's get rid of auto mod. Bye, auto mod. Bye bye. Keep us safe, please. Oh god, if that's his sister, then damn. I can't help but wonder if she's looking in my direction by any chance, or it's just my imagination. Still, there is something in my head telling me that she is dangerous, important. Whatever it is, I can't shake the feeling that if I stop looking... Ah! Sorry it took so long. Akalis enters the room without warning, making me hit my knee with the edge of the window. His entrance also carries a cold wind that blew off all the candles from the room. What in the heavens were you doing? Shit, you scared me. My apologies, it wasn't my intention. I pay the wolf no mind as immediately look back outside looking for the girl. She's gone. I'm so focused on the mysterious figure that I don't even notice when Akalis turns the candles back on. Eli? Yes? What is it? I turn around and offer him a reassuring smile, trying to ease his worries. And perhaps mine too. It's just my brain playing tricks on me. It's nothing. I turn my gaze towards the window for the third time, and Nicholas follows my lead. Yep, still nothing. Could it have been my imagination? Anyway, is the bath free? It is, and I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. It's pleasant enough. Good to know. Watch the fort while I'm out, okay? Fort? And with that, I try to ease the hooded figure from my mind as I walk past the wolf. After all, a nice bath is waiting for me, and I'm not planning on wasting it. As I walk back to our room, I encounter the innkeeper standing by the hallway. When he sees me, his ears perk up and he waves at me. I wave back as he approaches me. Sir, are you happy with your room? Is there anything I can do? Oh, not at all, sir. The room is great. No complaints at all. Although thinking about it, one comes to mind. Except for the bed. You see, we are not that close to each other. There being only one bed made things a little inconvenient. Oh, by the goddesses, I am so terribly sorry, sir. No, it's okay. I'm just saying for next time. Well, that's on me. The king requested one room, so I had no idea two of his men would come at the same time. I should have been better prepared. So, if you desire, there's one free room at the end of the hallway. It's a little smaller, but I'm sure it will fit your needs just fine. That's great to know, thank you. And with that said, the man bows lightly and then walks away down the hall. I keep my eye on him as he slowly vanishes from sight, and when he is gone, I just walk back to our room. So, I reckon that you've been here before? At this specific inn? Never. But I've spent my fair share of nights in this area. Everything is clean enough, so I like it. Yeah, I see what you mean. After taking my bath, Nicholas and I started talking about different topics. We've been playing this game of asking each other questions to pass the time. I also had to convince him about staying in his underwear since putting on clothes seemed a little inconvenient. No ulterior motive there, I swear. So, my turn to ask a question, isn't it? Yep, fair's fair. Did someone educate you before I stepped in? Do I look that stupid? His mouth opens to say something but immediately closes as his cheeks go red from the embarrassment. I can't help but smile at his reaction. I would take offense if he wasn't so darn cute. My adoptive mother, Mrs. Biscotti. She was good with math, so she taught me all she knew, aside from reading and a little bit of story. The rest, I learned on the go. She sounds like a wonderful woman. Yeah, she was. His eyes grow wide, probably unsure what to say about this revelation. I offer him a smile, letting him know that it's okay. Relax, it was a long time ago, no harm done. Yes, but still. I'm sorry about her passing. It must have been difficult for you. You have no idea, man. It was the start of a phase I'm not proud of. Wolf raises his eyebrow, silently asking me to elaborate, but I shake my head and chuckle. Nuh-uh, it's my turn to ask you. Nicholas nods and leans back on the bed, exposing his entire front on display. I guess we're past the formalities of not looking, which I greatly appreciate. So I wanted to ask you about your family, is that okay? I suppose it is, but allow me not to answer if it gets too personal. Alright, I'll try not to be too nosy. The wolf seems uncomfortable but willing, so I decide not to waste this opportunity. After all, it's the perfect chance to get to know him better. So, are you an only child or do you have siblings? I'm an only child. My parents were too busy to conceive. Another one. Too busy? I guess you could say that I was an obligation, or better said, something they had to do. Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. It's okay, Eli. That doesn't mean I wasn't loved. Quite the opposite, actually. They bathed me with all kinds of nice things as I grew up. Oh, wow. Is that how Collis perceives love? I wish I could just ask him, but I get the feeling that it won't do us any good. So I just ask something else. But why an obligation? Because your dad needed to pass down his title? Yes, you remembered. As I explained, the title of Grand Master goes down from generation to generation. So if my dad hadn't conceived me, the title would belong to my uncle's daughter. And we definitely don't want that. The girl is a mess. Then he married your mom for that. Did they even know each other? Aren't these too many questions? I thought this was supposed to be a fair game. Fancy me on this one, and I'll let you ask double next turn. The wolf sighs deeply and crosses his arms, looking out the window. Fuck. Perhaps I should drop it. He's clearly getting uncomfortable. Yes and yes. They were colleagues from way back, but never really loved each other. My dad wanted an heir, and my mom wanted direct access to the royal library, so it was a win-win situation for them. Fuck. I'm sorry to hear that. Why? As I said, a win-win situation. They knew what they wanted, and they took it. I call that an ideal deal. Dang, is this how Acolus really sees romantic relationships? Way of getting a benefit that you need? Jeez. It's a little sad. So, you would marry someone you don't love? My question seems to take the wolf by surprise. He plays with his hair and looks away, not wanting to meet my eye. That's not what I meant. Oh, we're not talking about me, are we? Guess not. Anyway, my turn. What do you mean by a phase I'm not proud of? Well, it's a little embarrassing. When Mrs. Biscotti passed away, I became what some parents would call a difficult child. I started to stay outside late, get in touch with shifty people, and, well, I became part of a gang. Oh, heavens. A gang? Now it's my turn to look away, embarrassed to be talking about this with him. Yes, we never hurt anyone, but we stole some stuff. Eventually, we messed with the wrong person and got ourselves caught. That's when I began my redemption arc, if you want to call it that way. I dropped the gang and started to get more involved in my mentor's shop. Although it still didn't stop me from trying to steal from the king. I'm such an idiot for falling in their trap again. I had no idea. How unexpected. Really? The first time we met, Roderick had apprehended me. How did you not figure it out? I just didn't put too much thought into it. Don't take it personally, but I didn't care much at the time. Ouch, you wound me. You asked. I don't think you should blame me for this. We laugh it off, enjoying each other's company in this oddly pleasant moment. I yawn, feeling more sleepy by every passing second. The rain outside has been a lovely lullaby, and the fatigue from the day is starting to take a toll on me, making my eyelids feel a little heavy. Are you sleepy? Yeah, a lot. Didn't notice until now. But I'm hella tired. Yes, quite. I'm also tired. But that brings another problem, though. I follow his gaze and notice that he is looking at the bed. The same one we've been sitting at this whole time. Of course, the only bed in this room. I shouldn't be surprised, though. Acolus is very reserved and dislikes personal contact. So the fact that he sees this as an issue is no surprise. Luckily for us, the innkeeper told me about that other room at the end of the hall. I should mention about it to him, and that way we can split. But is that really necessary? He did seem a little sad when I told him to do things separately. Maybe he wants to bond? Ugh, I'm drawing a blank here. What am I supposed to do? What is the proper thing to do? Perhaps I should just ask him if he's okay with sharing the bed. That way, I'll make sure he doesn't mind. So, should we sleep together? You know, in the battle with Eddie? Here's what's funny. So, the original save for this, in case you didn't know, the original save was on, like, October 26th or 7th. And this one is a new time. I had to go through the entire beginning of the game just holding down the skip button to the point where I had turned on skip unseen text. And while going through that, I did win the battle with Eddie. So, yes and no. Oh my god, thank you for the follow. So, both yes and no, I did win the battle with Eddie. Again, yes and no. So, should we sleep together? You know, one on each side of the bed? I'm sure we can manage to fit in there if we squeeze together. Acolus seems unsure at first, but after pondering for a few seconds, he nods. If we must. Acolus seems a little uncomfortable about the prospect of sleeping together, but it looks like he's not against it. Okay, then I'll blow out the candles. The light or dark option? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? I say as I stand up from the bed, walking around the room and making sure to blow them all out. Are you ready? I ask the wolf, turning around to meet his eyes. He says nothing. Instead, he lies on the bed's left side. I gulp and lay myself beside him. Just as expected, it's a tight fit. Should we cuddle? Is that what people often do in these situations? Huh? That's an odd question. We kicked him in the chest. We just went, hi-ya, and kicked him in the chest. That's what I did when going through this. I do not remember what I originally did. Huh? That's an odd question. What must makes you think that he... Acalis, is this your first time sharing the bed with someone? He doesn't respond, and even if I can't see it, I know for a fact that his cheeks must be as red as tomatoes. Would it be a bad thing if it was? There was a certain sadness in his voice as he asked me, as if he felt bad for not having this basic knowledge. No, it's not a bad thing. I'm just surprised, that's all. The wolf is lying on his side, giving his back to me. So if I'm doing this, I'll have to be the big spoon. Do you want me to lead the way? It's not such a big deal. You just let me hug you from the back, that's all. Okay, he says and then nods, remaining still like a stone. I turn to my side, lifting my left arm and placing it over him. Meanwhile, I put my other arm under the pillow. Yes! And also, hiya, welcome to the stream. Then I pull him closer. He yelps and jumps from the sudden contact, clearly not expecting us to be this close. Are you comfortable? The wolf silently nods and shuffles closer to me, making his back touch my front. I'm immediately met by his body heat and fur fluffiness. It feels nice this close to him. Wolf smells like the bathing products we were given with, but I try not to linger too much on it. After all, I'm trying not to make him uncomfortable, although his natural musk is still there and I can't help but to take a little whiff. Oh my. Hang on. That killed me. That killed me. Collis liked that. Although his natural musk is still there, I can't help but to take a little whiff. As soon as we did that, Collis liked that. Hiya. This is pleasant. The sound of his voice surprised me, as I wasn't expecting him to comment on it. You're oddly warm for someone your size. Woo! Woo! Yes! The gays are cuddling! It's due to your fur, isn't it? Yeah. My fur's actually made for cold weather. Have I ever told you about that time when Mr. Biscotti and I visited the mountains of the West? Not that I recall. Will you tell me about it? Gladly. And just like that, we spent the night talking with each other. That is, until the pillows finally won and he fell asleep in my arms. I soon try to follow, but after everything that has happened today, I don't think I'll get a good night's rest. But I might as well try. Just hold the Acalis. Always. As expected, I didn't get much sleep. I swear, I tried, but my brain was restless. I've been awake for at least 3 hours by now. Could be more, could be less, but I'm not too sure myself. Haven't been keeping count. Point is, I just couldn't sleep. Too many things in my head, I guess. So here I am, all alone in the middle of the night, staring at the diary Mr. Biscotti left me with nothing but a candle to light the room. I keep my eyes on the book, inspecting it as best as I can with the amount of light that I have. The leather feels good against my paws. It's certainly not the cheap kind. The pages are also of great quality, thick and won't rip easily, at least as far as I can tell. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on diaries or whatever. I just think this is too much. I mean, how much did he even pay for this? He should have used that money for something more important. I don't deserve this anyway. I sigh and then place the book back on the table, scratching my head as I try to feel some sort of comfort. Right under my left ear, the secret spot in which I've always loved to be scratched at. Doing it by myself feels a little lame, but it reminds me of my mom, so I do it when I'm feeling lonely or sad. I need to pull it together, I say, trying to calm my nerves. After all, I can't break down now. Tomorrow is a very important day, and I need to be ready. I don't feel like sleeping, though. To be honest, I'm more awake than ever. Perhaps I should stop moping and do something useful for a change. Or at least I think that's what Mr. Biscotti would say. I guess it's only you and me, buddy. I say as I lift the book and open it. I write my name in the first diary page and then rip it off. Then I place it in a little pocket the diary has as a way of marking it as mine. Guess I could also pee on it, but I'm not that kind of canine. Anyway, time to get creative. The codex has been added. Let's actually check it out. So we got, okay, so we got lore, map, time, and back. Don't be nasty. The following day, Icalis woke me up from the table with some water. That's just how canines be, I think. Luckily for me, he didn't seem surprised to find me there, as he heard me come down in the middle of the night. So the wolf didn't ask me anything about it. He just asked me if I was okay, and I told him that I was. A half-lie if you want to label it that way, but he didn't mind since he asked no more questions after that. Eventually we had breakfast, spent all morning outside, and just finished eating our lunch. I'm leaning on a wall waiting for Icalis outside of a bookstore. He asked me to wait for a while since he wished to buy a particular novel, which we won't name for some reason. I wonder if it's some ultra-secret Grandmaster mystery book that I can't know about. That only makes me want to read it even more. Thank you, Sir Malice. You're always so nice. I hear Icalis near the front door. Seems like they finally decided to move from the back of the store. I hope he's almost done. Because I've been stuck here for almost half an hour. It was my pleasure having you here, my lord. As it was mine to be here. And don't forget, I was never here. Yes, yes, like always, my lord. My lips are attuned. By the sound of his voice, the statement is not so far from reality. After all, he sounds really old. And Lord Icalis, please do come back. You make these old bones really happy. I will. Have a good day. After that, they end the conversation, and I soon hear the ringing bell from the opening door. So, are you ready? Indeed, we can move on now. Thank you for waiting. Don't mention it. Let's go, yeah? We get in motion, walking through the street without a fixated route. We're just browsing, as the rich say. Icalis seems quite content with what he just bought, and seeing him like that gives me yet another reason to ask him. Well, what's in the bag? It's nothing, really. Don't trouble yourself with it. Aw, come on! We're buds, right? Throw me a bone here, please? Bone? What I mean is that you can trust me. I know it's top secret, but I won't say a word. I promise. The wolf debates with himself for a while, opening his mouth multiple times to say something. I keep staring daggers at him, trying to pressure him to tell me. Watch, it's going to be some sort of smut. Eventually, he gives in, and with a deep sigh, oh my god, I cannot speak today. He opens the bag and shows me the front of a brown book with golden ornaments. You're such a kid. Ignoring him, I take the book from his hands and inspect it, reading the title from the first page. The Great Adventures of Captain Von Kidd, the Pirate That Sailed the Sky by Robert Dorma. This is a fantasy novel? I feel a little disappointed that this is the ultra-secret book, but then I notice how red Icalis' face is right now. I don't get it. What's so weird about this book? I'm not supposed to read these kinds of books. It's not expected of me. But I find them pleasant and relaxing, so I indulge myself from time to time. Are you not supposed to? Think about it from my perspective. Think about my position for a second. I'm the Grand Master of the Royal Library. I'm supposed to be the most knowledgeable person in the entire kingdom. So if my family found me wasting my time like this, they would, at best, punish me by my lack of responsibility. He sighs hard and then places his hand on his face, rubbing his eyes. I place my hand on his shoulder and offer him a reassuring pat on the back. Well, since I'm an accomplice in your crime now, how about I come and buy them for you? That way you don't risk it, and perhaps we can read them together. Icalis looks at me with a shocked expression before turning his gaze away from my eyes. That would be inefficient. I read way too fast. You could never catch on. I can't help but laugh, even though he's technically insulting me. I keep thinking Sheldon Cooper when Icalis talks. I keep thinking Sheldon. Oh, is that a challenge? No, that's not what me... Let's just go. The wolf sighs deeply, and I can't help but chuckle at his antics. He can be so easy sometimes. We walk for a little longer. Too much fun hitting the control key. The wolf doesn't seem especially interested in anything, but he's nice enough to wait for me whenever I see something that I like at a store. He even convinced me not to buy unnecessary things multiple times, although the golden eagle would look freaking rad on top of my bed. Just saying. Perhaps we should leave. I don't trust you with your own money. Hey, I'm just looking, man. Give me a break. Besides, this is the first time I get to spend it on silly stuff. I mean it, Eli. We're not here to buy anything expensive. Hold up! Hold up! We need to be at the library, but... Wait! Hold up! A certain scent picks up my interest. Something I've smelled before. It's a very smelly scent that smells... smelly. It's faint, but I can certainly recognize it, so I start to follow it using my nose as my guide. Icarus reluctantly follows behind me, grunting from time to time. I keep sniffing until the smell grows stronger, and then I follow it. We reach a building named The Good Buns that displays different types of bread and sweets. From which I can see... Hey, Icarus, isn't this... Hiya! Isn't this... Leprom? How did you know? Of course, I knew that I'd smelled something like this before. As if I could ever forget such an angelic scent. It was here when I bought it the other day, but how did you know? Don't you ever underestimate the power of my nose, do you hear me? Quite impressive, like a hound dog. Clearly, we need to keep this up. Clearly, we need to. Automod is always watching. I love the joke, though. Love the joke. Hey, whom are you calling a dog? Bite me. Don't doubt for a second that and don't come back here until you've learned how to count. Our conversation is suddenly cut short by a man yelling at a young red fox. Chef, yes, chef. I'll make it better next time, chef. The poor teenager seems on the verge of collapse as the other man scolds him. I feel a little bad for him, but it's not our place to intervene. It also reminds me of the many times Mr. Biscotti scolded me when I was younger. Now go and buy some more eggs. We'll have to do everything from the start. Chef, yes, chef. Is that Gordon Ramsay? The fox bows deeply and then sprints out of the store like a thunder. He's so fast that it didn't even take him 10 seconds to round the corner and vanish from sight. Ah, customers. He seems familiar. He seems familiar. If I'm not mistaken, let me pull something up real quick. Because I don't know if I'm correct. I could be wrong. And I'm checking right now. And I think that's Zordy. Yeah, I think that's Zordy. I'm like checking right now. Is it? I think it is. Yeah, I think that's Zordy. The man finally spots us, walks closer, and meets face to face with us. The man is a dog with a fur pattern that I've never seen in my entire life. Can fur be that pink? I can hardly believe it. He greets us with a smile, and I finally notice how small he is. He's probably the same height as Pat, if not smaller. Please come in, and sorry about the mess. I just had a failed experiment. He offers us an apologetic smile as he scratches the back of his head. The poor man looks like he hasn't slept in ages now that I look closer. His eyes have deep bags under them. We were looking to buy some Leprom. I point toward the piece of candy on the shelves. The man looks right at it and nods. Of course you do. It's one of our most popular products. If you want it to go, or will you gentlemen eat it here? Want to eat it here? Sure, we can rest our legs for a while. Then sit wherever you like and enjoy. He hands us each a stick with the candy on top of it. Then he smiles and walks to the back of the store. Man, I've been dreaming about this since the last time. Ah. Oh, okay. Man, I've been dreaming about this since the last time. You mean that time you ate the whole thing? Yeah, since that time. The bill's on me, by the way. Of course it is. So, shall we? I nod enthusiastically before sinking my teeth into the candy. That's very nice. I closed my eyes to focus on the taste better, and oh boy, was it a good idea. Just as I remember, the sweet dissolves inside my mouth to the touch. The taste of lemon and milk in a perfect balance, making it sweet and yet acidic enough to make it pleasant. I let out a little moan, and to my surprise, the wolf did the same a few seconds later. It seems like he's just as much of a fan of it as I am. Yes! I love this illustration! When I open my eyes, I see a Collis with a huge smile on his face. He's sucking on the candy slowly, using his tongue to give the sweet circular licks. Unlike me, who just ate the whole thing right away. I remain in a trance, seeing how the wolf treats the laprom. Then it hits me. Doesn't it look oddly sexual? You know, what's that one? No, that's not it. Hey man. Hey man, get your mind out of the gutter. Get your mind out of the fucking gutter, Eli. Because if I can find it. And I didn't. There are way too many files in this project. There are way too many files on this project. Okay, is it before or after Bemused Rannoch? I think it's after. Yes, not in front of Baby Ty. Not in front of Baby Ty. Before I can continue that line of thought, Baby Ty, hi. Hi, Baby Ty. Hi, angry Baby Ty. Before I can continue that line of thought, the wolf turns his gaze toward me, raising an eyebrow. Something the matter? Collis glares at me, holding my gaze as he licks his candy. No, not at all. I was, Come on, Eli. Think of something. He can never know how sexual his way of licking is. Here, you have a little stain on your cheek. I say the first thing that comes to my mind. Then I reach my arm and place it on his cheek. His fur is extremely soft and well kept, making it pleasant to the touch. So I linger a little on his cheek, not retracting my hand away from his face. There! As clean as before. Collis looks away, his cheeks and his ears entirely red. Thank you! Thank you for saying it! Thank you for saying it! Oh my... Thankfully, I actually have a sound for this. Oh my god! Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay. Let's just... Mute that and play the sound. Is it Careless Whisper? No, it is slightly worse than Careless Whisper. I should probably turn this up. Just because it's true doesn't mean you have to say it. Oh, no. Yeah, that was it. That's it. Yeah, that's right. I gotta stop the stream just to play a bonk sound. Nicholas looks away, his cheeks and his ears entirely red. That's when it hits me. Did I just tenderly caress another guy's cheek in public? I'm so... I take my hand away, not wanting to make him any more uncomfortable than he probably already is. I want to say something, but words get stuck in my throat. Thank you. I hate when candy stains my fur. Nicholas finally says as he offers me a shy smile that makes me skip a beat. Yes, they're so cute. How can this guy get even cuter? His power is too much for mortal eyes. I am not worthy. I should go and get clean either way, or else I'll smell like candy the rest of the day. I'll be right back. Before I could say another word, Nicholas was already standing up and walking toward the bathroom. He closed the door behind him, leaving me all alone with my thoughts. Or thought, as the only thing in my mind was how stupid I was. He didn't seem mad, but that's probably because he didn't want to cause a scene in public. Ugh, I so messed up. What am I going to... That was a good try, but that move you pulled wasn't the smoothest. Try a leg touch first, and then see how it goes. He seems like the type of guy who takes things slowly. Excuse me? Let's just get rid of Baby Ty for now. Aww, it's Eli's first gay panic attack. It's Eli and Nicholas's first gay panic attack. Aww, you're going to have so many more. You're going to have so many more. Like, oh my god, you are going to have so many more. I'm just saying you're being too aggressive. Perhaps something more subtle will do the trick next time. The baker, talking to me from the back of the counter, offers me a thumbs up and a knowing smile. But to be honest, I have no idea what he means. I'm not sure I follow you, man. I fucking love the music. Aren't you two going out? I sure thought you two were... My cheeks were as red as tomatoes as the man seemed serious about what he just said. The worst thing is, from his perspective, it would look like that's the case. After all, I bring him here to eat candy together, I clean his face tenderly, and then we both blush from it. It looked entirely like a date, and I just realized it. No, that's not what it looks like. We're just friends. Relax, no need to get all red on me. I won't tell a soul about it. You have my word. Also, if I say something that bothers you, let me know. I wouldn't want to hurt your sensibility by mistake. I remain silent as the baker talks. He seems nice, and he is openly talking about this, which allows me to draw two conclusions. First, he's either gay or sympathetic with the queer, and second, he's got no sense of shame whatsoever. I don't know, but I find that hilarious. I'm still debating if that's a bad thing or a good thing. I know it seems like it, but I'm telling you the truth. We're just friends. Is that so? You two got me fooled. The dog laughs at me, and I sigh. At least it looks like he is enjoying himself. Still, I was being serious. It would be best if you didn't throw yourself at him. Just give him a few treats of sweetness, and then you make your move. Just like baking a lovely cake, you don't throw all the ingredients at once, do you? I'm telling you, it's not like that at all. As I was about to tell him how mistaken he is for the third time, Nicholas stepped out of the bathroom. His fur seems a little damp, and his scarf is a bit wet. It makes me wonder if he stuck his whole head inside a water-filled barrel. There, all done. Are you ready to leave? Nicholas interrupted us in the middle of our conversation, and thank the goddesses, he seemed oblivious to what we were saying. Yeah, I'm ready. I was just about to... Zordy, Chief Zordy at your disposal. I was right. Well, why did I say chief? Zordy, Chef Zordy at your disposal. Well, Chef, I'll have a good word to my acquaintances about this place. The food here is quite good. Thank you, Lord Acalis. Nothing would make me happier. Yeah, I noticed that, and I feel so bad. Suddenly, the dog starts acting formally toward Acalis, which weirds us both out. So, you knew who I was the entire time? You've been here a few times, sir, and I always remember the faces of my customers. I hope it didn't offend you. No, of course not. You did me a great favor. It was a very pleasant experience. The small baker seems content with what Acalis is saying, since he's been playing with his mustache for a while now. Acalis also seems happy to be talking with this man. Me, on the other hand, I still don't know what to think of him. Here, have something for the road. They're freshly made. Zordy hands me a sack full of pastries. The wolf sees me take it and then bows in gratitude. I do the same when the baker smiles at me. And you, don't forget what we talked about. Might come in handy for future reference. That single phrase is enough to light up my cheeks once more. And to make it all worse, Acalis is now looking at me with a curious expression. Did I miss something? Pay no mind, it was just making lessons. After leaving Zordy's store, Acalis and I walked for 30 minutes before reaching the entrance of the Royal Library. The building is enormous, to say the least. We don't linger much on the outside, though, as we make haste inside. Which was incredibly quiet at the time, as if the entire sound of the world had died down as we set foot in there. Only a few birds can be heard from outside the window. Row after row of shelves filled the library from the ground to the very top of the ceiling. The floor has a beautiful design worked on marble, and the ceiling has some gorgeous paintings which, upon closer inspection, displays the entirety of the creation story. With 3 golden goddesses building the world and giving us, sapient beings, our free will. This is stunning! It's all I managed to say as my brain was trying to process the entirety of this place. There are some tables situated in the middle of the halls, and when I decide to touch them, I'm immediately thrown back by their smoothness. I can hardly believe how much work went into making these. Such masterful craftsmen must have done it. Some masterful craftsmen must have done it. I was the same when my father brought me here for the first time. There are around 10,000 books and scrolls stored in this library. Each is more interesting than the previous one, mind you. You've read them all? Been trying to. Wait, if there are so many books, we'll never finish looking. It will take us at least a week to complete half of them. I say, finally noticing that this may not have been the best idea after all. Please don't fret. There's a way to find the books we need. But first we need to... I knew I heard someone making a ruckus in my precious library. But to think it would be the Grand Master himself. As Acalis and I were talking, an older fellow approached us without us noticing. As soon as Acalis saw who he was, his face turned serious and expressionless. The same look he used to have when we met the first time. It's been a while since I've last seen him like this. And this man, he is clearly related to Acalis, as he's the spitting image of the wolf. But much older, of course. What brings you here? I'd been told the king sent you on a very important mission. Hence, why you were not attending to your responsibilities. The man talks slowly and calmly, but I can sense the aggression in his voice. He dislikes Acalis and doesn't mind showing it, even when I'm standing right next to him. There's clearly some bad blood between these two. This is part of my assignment, Uncle. If you have a problem with it, I recommend you speak directly with the king. As if I had the time to make such a fruitless effort, unlike you. I do take my responsibilities seriously. His gaze finally turns to me. He uses those cold eyes to analyze me from top to bottom, his expression turning from curiosity to pure disgust in seconds. And you are? Me? I stutter in my words, as I wasn't expecting the man to address me. He is... Did I speak to you? I believe not. Oof. Acalis is soon shut down by his uncle, who takes a few steps and gets closer to us. Name. Which one? Do we want to be polite or be an ass? I love the music. I love the music. Fuck. Excuse me if I'm wrong, my lord. Common courtesy dictates that you must speak your name first before asking for others. The wolf smirks for a split second, amused by my sharp response. And to be honest, I didn't know I had it in me. And it's common courtesy not to smell like a sweaty dog before the nobility, but it seems like my nephew hasn't taught you such a simple fact. My cheeks flare up at the man's comment. I even had the impulse to check my pit to smell my pit to check. But luckily, I managed to stop myself in the act. In any case, if you must know, my name is Dracalis. Uncle Dracalis, if you are done smelling my companion, we want to start with our investigation. But of course, don't let me keep you from your essential duties. See, we have a very special sound for you. A very, very special sound for you that has only been used so many times in the past. Specifically, Soleil Tales of a New Dawn. If you know it, you know it. Just some casual Markiplier. Just casual Markiplier. And don't mind me. I'll just be doing your job. The man turns around with a victorious grin while Acalis remains in place, and as expressionless as one of those statues from the outside. Although being so close to him, I can hear him gritting his teeth. It's so weird. I've never seen the wolf so upset. This man must be a real piece of work. Acalis, don't. Not while he's here. Let's go to the back. Urgh. Fuck you, Dracalis. Fucking Dracalis. Acalis whispers and then grabs my wrist, forcing me away from the scene. Eventually, we reach a table close to one of the windows and far away from anything else. And that's where that impudent prick. Hold up. My eyes open wide as I hear Acalis say those words. Yay! 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 Baby's first swear. Yay! Yay! Round of applause. Round of applause. His first swear. Oh my god, his first swear. So adorable. Soon you'll be swearing in every other word. I could hardly believe it. Goody Two-Shoes Acalis just insulted someone, and his first insult. Yay! Yay! In his own way, but he still did. How could he, talking to you like that? My guest! Unforgettable, outrageous, deplorable. Hey, it's okay, I don't mind if he insulted me. He's just a jerk. Yes, he is. He just wanted to make fun of me, like he always does. But now that I've gotten used to his numerous jabs, he needs to insult you. How dare he? What a lack of manners. Acalis, calm down. It's not the first time some royal has insulted me. Still, that doesn't excuse... I rub my hand on his shoulder, trying to calm him down. And I manage to help, as his breathing goes back to normal and his face relaxes. We're so proud of you, Acalis. We're so proud of you. There. No use getting upset. I'm sorry. It's just, I've been dealing with him for far too long. And I don't mind when he mistreats me, but the fact that he dared talk badly about you, it sent me over my limit. I don't think I've ever seen you that worked up. Made you look cool. What? Cool? That was the opposite of cool. I was so heated. Not cool like cool, dummy. Cool as in awesome and badass. Icalis chuckles and offers me a shy smile as he sees me all excited. Besides, I don't smell that bad. Do I? No, of course you don't. Your scent is quite pleasant. As Icalis finishes that sentence, he seems to notice what he just said, and now we're both blushing deeply. None of us are saying a word. Gay anger. Oh my god, Suni's going to be a real twink. Oh my god. Suni's going to be a real gay. Has he been sniffing me? When did he even... Shit. Maybe that means I really smell. Anyway, the investigation. Ah, yes, the investigation. Where should we begin? Well, we need a ladder, don't you think? There will be no need. Watch closely. Icalis walked towards one of the tablets and placed his hand's palm on the top of a symbol that resembles the Eye of Arcanus. Soon enough, the eye begins to glow with a dim blue light, then the table, and finally some floor lines. Those lines go all over the library until I can no longer see where they went. Eventually, after a few minutes, the glowing stops and Icalis rests on one of the chairs. There, they should be here shortly. They? The wolf shakes his head and smirks, waiting with his arms crossed. I sit beside him, waiting for whatever he did to take action. Luckily, it doesn't take long before I see something approaching us from a distance. The closer it gets, the more it looks like... Duck your head, by the way. No one can control the speed on which they are summoned. Ah! As Icalis said that, a flying book flew mere inches past my head, almost hitting me straight on the forehead. After the first one, more and more books came to us. One by one, they started to pile down on top of the table until 10 minutes passed, finally stopping. I watched the show unfold in silence, amazed and scared simultaneously, wondering what would have happened if I hadn't ducked my head. Just imagining such a heavy-looking book hitting me like that at such speed sends shivers down my spine. Who would have thought a library could be so dangerous? What was that? That, my good friend, is a system that took 3 entire generations to perfect. As he says that, he sticks out his chest with a proud smirk. My family invested their time in creating a way to sort and retrieve books more efficiently. So, each book is marked with a special ink. Here, check for yourself. He's holding a book. Icalis grabs the first book from the pile and opens it before me. It read, The Great Pastor Colin and His Work in Church's History. Under the title, though, there's a little marking with the form of the Eye of Arcanus. The ink is reactive to mana flow and attracted to the source. So, all you have to do is think about a specific subject, or even better, a specific book. Then, with that in mind, infuse some crim into the table. The table is connected to the floor and the floor to the shelves. Lastly, once the mana reaches the book, it comes flying straight to the table that was used as a conduit. Isn't that wonderful? It is. So this is the use of magic. I would have never expected that it could be so practical. I mean, each time I saw magic was to cast a fireball or to make water come out of nowhere, but this is a whole different level. It is. It's what my father always used to say. Magic can be used for so many bad things, but when it's used with good intentions, it really shines. For a split second, I see Icalis' tail wagging. He seems genuinely in love with this, making me wonder how much of his life he spent inside these walls. Well, that will be a conversation for another time, because right now, we've got a mission to do. So, are you ready? This is going to be a long evening. Well, if your classes were worth something, I'm more than ready. Let's get 'em. And with that said, we both sat by the table, each of us picking a book from the dozens in the pile. I've been so deep into these books that I only returned to the real world when Icalis stood up and lit the candles for us. I didn't even notice when the sunset happened. I rubbed my eyes and leaned back on the chair, the fatigue finally catching up to me. It would be best if you rested, Eli. I'm used to it, but you are not. If you force yourself too much, you'll damage your eyes. Don't you ever get tired of being right? Not one bit. Now be a dear and fetch us some water. The barrel with clean water should be at the end of the hall to the right. Don't get lost. I won't, jeez. I'm not a fucking kid. Ooh? I mumble to myself as I stand up from the chair and head in the direction he mentioned. My legs feel sore after spending so much time sitting, but it's not unbearable. After all, I'm doing this for Mary, so I won't dare complain about it. Anyway, I keep those thoughts away from my head at the moment. No use getting upset now. Time to get some water. I turn the corner he mentioned, going to the right, but as I leave his sight, I finally notice how dark this place is. There are only so many candles illuminating this stance due to most of them not being lit. I wonder if that's a preventative measure to prevent a fire from happening. Oh well, it's not like it bothers me. I've always had good night vision, so I carry on. If the afternoon was quiet, this place is like a tomb at night. Not a single sound can be heard. No rustle from outside. No bug sounds. No fire sounds. No life. It's nothing, just darkness. But then, a sound. Steps. So light that I barely noticed, but I did. And given that the person who gave it is now completely still, I'm guessing they didn't want to be heard in the first place. But where? Where did I hear it from? I try to focus on my surroundings, trying to pick up something. Anything at all. A little movement, no matter what it is. Just move. There it is. I rush towards it, not caring if my footsteps can be heard. It won't give them enough time to hide. After all, the halls are long, and they have no other way to go. Aha. I say as I turn the corner, but I'm met by darkness. Was it just my imagination? I turn around multiple times, trying to make sure no one is here for sure. It could have been Dracalis. Why would he be hiding, though? It makes no sense. Hello? I say, but I get no answer. Only silence and darkness. Well, not total silence, but why? Why is my heart rushing like this? Why is it going so fast? It wasn't such a long job. I should hardly be tired. You're afraid. Afraid of what? The dark. The silence. Nothingness. No, you're wrong. I've never been afraid of the dark. Perhaps. But you're afraid nonetheless. Shut up! Shut up, shut up, shut up! I crouch down and put my hands on my ears as if that would help keep the voice away. I don't need you, and I don't want to hear you. Leave me alone. Alone? Yes, alone. Go away. Don't you see? You are already alone. No, you're wrong. I'm not. Eli. Another voice calls out for me from the end of the hallway. Dracalis comes running and crouches beside me, placing his hands on each side of my face. He keeps my eyes on him, looking deep into my soul. Look at me. What? Look at me. Dracalis doesn't move 1 inch as he keeps his eyes glued to mine. Is it gone? The voice? Yes. Can you still hear it? No. I don't think so. Good. That's a good first step. His voice is calmer and warmer than his usual tone, with some hints of worry in it. His facial expression is soft and his eyes are as blue as the sky and beautiful as a great lake. Don't let it get to you. Come, let's get you out of here. We'll get some water. Thanks. The wolf helps me stand up, placing my arm around his neck, the same way he did back in the store. How did you know? In this place, you can even hear a fly from the other side of the building. and you were screaming quite loudly. Wow. After the incident, the night carries on like normal. Nicholas asked me about the voice again, but I had to tell him the same thing he already knew. It's just a voice that comes and goes. But what is it? And why is it happening so often now? Ever since I was brought to Laguna Castle. Is there a connection between that event and the voice? I can hardly tell, but I must leave this for another time. I need to focus on the task at hand. So we carry on the investigation as if nothing happened, and luckily for me, that actually helped me to take my mind off of the voice for the rest of the evening. We've read most of the books by now, and we still have an hour to spare before the ball begins. There are only 5 books left, and I just finished researching one. So I grab the next one, open it, and read the title. This one reads, The Mystic Arts of Pleasure and Desire, 1020 Ways to Satisfy Your Partner in Bed. I thought we already allowed the word erotic. And also, what the hell, Acalis? What the hell? By Shangu Lu, the second shogun of the Lion Dynasty. Is this supposed to be... Is this related to our investigation? I desperately look at Acalis, trying to meet his eye, and ask him what the hell this is. But sadly for me, he's deep in a book right now, and doesn't seem to notice me. I'm just going to keep that up. Curiously opening the first page, I peek at the book's contents. The first pages are an introduction to the art of wooing your mate. After that, it explains how to use the mouth to explore the woman's lips. But it doesn't stop there, as Shang explains how to please a male partner as well. Using your lips, hands, and even your own manhood to place it on top of your partner's and... Oh goddess, is that even possible? Deeper in the book, there are different pictures of different poses that can be accomplished in bed. Each of them nicely drawn by the creator himself. Fuck. I got hard just by looking at these pictures. Why on heavens would this book be here? This has nothing to do with the investigation. There was a position that piqued my interest, though. In it, the man lay bare on top of the bed. The woman would introduce the... Hang on. Stop. We're making Mark cry. We're making Mark cry. Please stop. We're making him cry. Can't you see that? Can't you see that? We're making him cry. Okay. Let me try and read this with a straight face. The woman should introduce the penis inside of her and then would place her feet atop of the man's shoulders. Then the man would stand up, getting into a sitting position while still inside his partner. If I get banned, we all know what happened. Thrusting his hips upward, it is believed the man could reach the sweet... Found something interesting? Fuck! His voice is so sudden that it makes me throw the book backward, making it fly a few feet away, as far from the wolf as possible. He stares at me with a murderous expression as that happens. Have you lost your mind? These books are extremely fragile. You better pray it's not broken. Akal stands up with a grunt and walks toward the book. All I can do is watch in horror as he reaches his hand to pick up that cursed book. Don't look! By the love of God, the goddesses, don't! His pure eyes have been tainted. His pure eyes have been tainted. No, no. But as his face lights up with a cute shade of red, I know it's too late for him. He's seen it, and he's seen it all. What in the... Oh, goddesses. I swear, it wasn't me. The book was just in the pile. I thought you had brought it for the investigation, so I gave it a few looks, that's all. I mean, it's crazy, right? Why would that book be... here? Wait, hold on, why is that book here? I thought you conjured the books with that crazy magic of yours. Were you thinking about sex when you attracted the... No! Of course not. It must have been a mistake. Things like these happen all the time. Sometimes the mana gets trapped in the wrong channel. Besides, what use would I have for such a vulgar book? Don't be ridiculous. So let's forget about it and keep on reading. We're almost done. And with that, he sends the book flying with the swift movement of his hand. Then he sits beside me and goes back to reading. But as much as I try to ignore it, the thought of that pose haunts me for the rest of the night. The fucking pose. Damn it, Acalis. We exit the library and step on the main road after sorting the books. Or should I say, the magic did it since it didn't even do a thing. In any case, we stop in the middle of the road and Acalis places his hand on his chin. So, thoughts? Well, according to one of the books I read, the church is divided into 3 different divisions. Crusaders, priests, and missionaries. Each one of them carries a different mission for the church. The defenders, the administrators, and their people handlers. New lore available. Indeed. Anything else? Yeah, the high ranks are given medals like the one I have, but it looks like this symbol doesn't match any of theirs. This draws us to 2 possible conclusions. First, that medal has nothing to do with the church in the first place. Perhaps a fake. Meaning that we reached a dead end. My ears drop as the thought crosses my mind. What would I do then? What other clue do I have? A second possibility is, it has everything to do with the church and they're trying to hide it. Huh? What led you to think that? Well, I read a most curious book written by a former priest that turned into a bookkeeper. He described how many men recruited by the church just vanished from time to time. The high ranks gave the following explanation. These people are deserters that couldn't handle our way of life. But this priest believed there was something more sinister to it since one of the deserters was one of his closest friends. Yet, as he tried to investigate, the man was charged with embezzlement of the church's money. And that's how he ended up in the library since they kicked him out. Exactly. So, what do you think? The church has a 4th secret division dealing with the ugliest jobs for them. Jobs such as murder and kidnapping? It's a bold accusation, but it's a possibility. We need further investigation on this topic. Oh, wait, does that mean you'll help me? Of course I will. I despise the ignorant, and turning a blind eye to this subject would make me the greatest ignorant of them all. Nicholas offers me a reassuring smile, and I can't help but hug him with all my strength. Ah! I can't believe I'll have such a reliable ally. And to make it all better, he's given me something I thought I lost years ago. Hope! Ah! Ah! Damn! There's like, but damn! Okay. Yes, just yes. Just yes. That is all I have to say about this. Yes. Message at the end? There was a message at the end? To be continued. Oh? As always, writing Acalis is a bittersweet mix that I freaking love. But he's been changing his ways around Eli, wouldn't you agree? Ah. Slowly but steadily, he's allowing himself to show his emotions with the fox, which is a huge step for someone like him. So please be patient with my little boy. He's trying his best, I promise. That aside, I'm a little worried about Eli. Oh? Those intrusive thoughts are putting him in a bad spot. But is that really all they are? Just thoughts? I can't help but wonder if there's something more going on with the little fox boy. Or maybe not. Guess we'll have to find out. Just what matters that he's got a smart wolf by his side, so I'm sure he'll be fine. In any case, I'm quite pleased how Kaltz's route is turning out to be. And also, next one is Roderick's, and I'm sure a lot of you have been expecting your date with Big Wolf Daddy. Yes. We're getting there, don't be afraid. Lastly, I want to say thanks to the HOA team. We are not that many, but we're trying our best to make this VN the best it can be. Without their help, I would be completely overwhelmed by this project. Also, don't forget that this project has its own Discord in which we can chat and you can comment on anything you want. Oh my god, I need to join that Discord. I'm going to click that link. Big Wolf Daddy. Yes, let me just join that. Yes, I literally just opened Discord. Yeah, that's right, Discord was just opened. Ah, yes, Roderick. So give it a try. Perhaps you'll like it there. Also, if you want to support me in the project, please consider becoming a patron if you haven't already. I couldn't be more grateful with all my patrons for their constant support. You guys have a special place in my heart. Besides, patrons get special rewards, and I have something nice prepared for the holidays. As always, consider following me on Twitter @JadenPup if you want to stay updated with all the new HOA content. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. Love you with all my heart. Oh, we love you too. And we're back. Hang on. I'm just gonna... Because I actually want to communicate in this Discord server, because I'm just silent as fuck. Okay, hang on. Yeah, the only other one is, yeah. Anyways, not much else can be said, so stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow, and I also can't wait to be in Seoul. I don't know why, but honestly, same.